Stand against Republicans.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but you know what I would say.
You can break it down to issues.
You know, but what I would say with that too is somebody can come back and say, well, Roland, how about the fact that Democrats don't care about the border, because the more people come from the border, they tend to vote more for Democrats. So it's better for them to not talk about the border.
First of all, that assumes that somebody who's crossing the border is a registered voter when they're not. Because here's the deal.
But the Democrats want them to be able to vote and to say they also have a voice. Shouldn't they be able to vote?
But the reality is, see, now what you've done is you've now flipped it to another issue, which is the border. What I'm talking about is what is undeniable when it comes to the.
No, I didn't flip it. No.
Because it's not nothing to do with the border.
I didn't flip it. I asked the question from you: what policies on the right do you agree with? What policies on the left?
Right.
Then you brought up voting to say that the Republicans in Georgia want to do this. Then I brought up the fact that I didn't bring up border. I'm bringing border to say that those people who come across the border many times are going to vote left and they're going to vote right.
But that's actually a wrong assumption, because I'm from Texas and we see what actually happens is what you have is if you're talking about
you're saying people that come across the border vote Republican.
What I'm telling you is when you look at who is coming across the border, that's first.
I run an insurance company with 40,000 agents, 54% Hispanic. I lived in LA 24 years.
And here's the question. No. But you said you live in LA. Here's the fundamental problem that people refuse to recognize when you talk about Hispanics/Latinos in America.
What percentage of Hispanic vote Republican?
No. First of all, follow me here.
I know exactly where you're going to go on the Texas side.
No. It's not just the Texas side.
Okay.
The problem that we have in the country when we break down Hispanics/Latinos, and the reason I'm saying Hispanics/Latinos is because around the country you can't group everybody in the same category. What you have is you might have a different philosophy if you're talking about Venezuelan, Cuban, in Florida compared to somebody who is Chicano.
Florida's true. Yes, you're right. I agree on Florida.
Compared to Mexican Americans in Texas, compared to Los Angeles. And so what you also have is a much different focus.
All you have to do is just look up and see what percentage of Hispanic vote Democrat.
No.
Can you pull it up?
No. And what I'm saying is about 65, 35,
64 to 65%.
Or some places 60-40.
So there you go.
But here's the deal, though. If you're Republicans, you like that 35. What you don't have for African Americans in the case, like black women who hate the Republican Party, the top two constituencies for African Americans, the Democratic Party, are black women and black men. So if you're running, 35-40% is a damn good number.
Oh, stop it, Roland. This.
It's not?
You're getting 65% or vote 64% right there.
Yes, and
so what are you talking about?
And if you are a Republican or the Republican Party, you also have to ask yourself, what have you done to reach a community to get them to vote for you?
Hispanics?
Yes.
They're increasing on the Republican side.
Hold up. You just said increasing.
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why is it increasing?
Why is it increasing?
I'm asking you.
Because the policies are helping them out.
No, it's increasing also because you have a party that actually is now taking a more proactive focus in targeting that group. If you never communicate with me or never reach out to me, guess what? I'm going to go with who normally does. And so that's the smart strategy, which is what I've actually said to Republicans for the longest. If you never talk to black people and they never see you, guess what? They ain't going to never vote for you.
By the way, I don't disagree with that. I think if you want someone's vote, you got to go talk to them. You got to shake their hands.
And what they've done is, in the last 10 years, especially in the last 8 years, they've actually made a much more concerted effort to target Hispanics in the United States.
Do you think Democrats care about blacks more than Republicans do?
Oh, absolutely.
Really?
I can't. Let me tell you.
Define care.
Here's the first thing.
Define care.
I have to first be willing to even talk to you. Republicans, by and large, they want to avoid black people. A group of black Republicans in Illinois had a meeting with the state Republican Party.
Yeah.
And they laid out, hey, there are ways that we as a party can reach out to African Americans in Illinois, in Chicago. They finished their presentation. This is the first statement that's made. Guys, look, we're not going to support welfare. Black Republicans went, who the hell brought up welfare? It wasn't even our proposal. The black Republicans were insulted. And this group of white Republicans automatically went to welfare, and they said, we didn't even bring up welfare. Why is that the one thing you brought up?
What community are you talking about? Where was this at?
So Illinois.
Okay.
And so what I'm saying is,
and you're saying Illinois Democrats have done good for blacks in Illinois?
No, that's not what your question was. The question was this here, in terms of who is reaching out to him.
Right.
I wanted, when Mitch McConnell's book came out,
right.
I'm on the Tom Joyner Morning Show. This is the largest black morning show in the country before he retired. We're sitting here, and so I get to call one of book him. Okay, no problem. Then all of a sudden, Mitch is not going to come on the show. Okay, he's discussing his book. Why not? This is the largest show targeting African Americans. I can tell you, I've had open invitations to Republicans to come on the show. When Alan West was in Congress, I told him about it. Alan was like, "Are you serious?" Alan tells his press secretary.
Alan would show up.
He was on the show.
Yeah,
he was on the show.
Alan
well,
no
not always, because I called him live on the air one day. He hung up.
I don't know if you're respectful to him or not. I can tell you, Alan will show up anywhere.
No. Alan, right. Well, not always. But Alan was respectful.
He's a gamer.
But,
he's not afraid.
Right, but not always.
You're so funny.
I'm trying to tell you.
You're
not
so
always.
funny. He may have a schedule. You're right, not always.
No. When I called him live on the air. So Alan's on, and I tell him that. Alan goes, "Are you serious?" I said, "Yes." I said, "We have an open invitation." I said, "To the entire Republican caucus." He goes, tells his press secretary, send a note out to the whole caucus. Hey, look, you should come on this show. It's important, blah, blah, blah. 2. And the reason, other than Alan, the reason it was 2, 1 was a Republican from Texas, a Texas A&M graduate. That's why he came on. The other one was Pete Olson from Texas, who came on as well, because out of Houston. And so what happens is they avoid, in many ways, talking to African Americans. I'm never going to be able even to listen to you if you don't even talk to me. And if you ever talk to me, and I've had long conversations. I've known black Republicans my entire life. The frustration they have, you go back to Jackie Robinson and Nixon in 1960, the frustration that they have is here they are talking about being black conservative and being Republican, and the pushback and the hell they get from their own. I'm talking about, we've had like serious conversations, and we're talking about individuals who have been cabinet secretaries, who have been in many layers, who are millionaires, who are donors, and they express how it drives them crazy when they do it. That was Michael Williams, who worked in the Reagan Bush administration, very good friend of mine. He was going to have a fundraiser at his house, and there was a guy running for Congress against Martin Frost in Texas, and he was campaigning. He brought J.C. Watts in and everything, and at the time, it was these black church burnings. And so Michael calls him up, and Michael said, "Hey, I think the candidate should release a statement with regards to these burning of black churches."
Yeah.
And they go, no, we're not going to do that. That's pandering. Michael said, "I'm sorry, wait a minute. But y'all brought Congressman J.C. Watts in to tour with you to black churches on Sunday." He's like, "What the hell do you call that?" So Michael's wife, Donna said, because they went to a fundraiser at Michael and Donna's house. Donna said, "Ain't no man who's unwilling to speak against the burning of black churches welcome in my house. You let them know, no statement, he will not step foot in this house for a fundraiser." You
still haven't answered my question.
I'm laying out to you examples of how Republicans won't even talk. So therefore, the only place who we can talk to you is Democrats, and that's one reason why Republicans have largely lost.
So that is your okay. So let's say that's true. Let's say
no, it's not.
For you, it is.
I've been black. Hold up, I've been black for 54 years, and I have spent I have run black-owned media outlets, getting Republicans to even talk to black people, show up at forums. My parents were founders of a civic club. I'm telling you, not my opinion, what I've literally experienced and what black Republicans, and even what I've had conversations about this with white Republicans.
But I got a follow up for you. So, in other words, Democrats are only ones that had the votes of blacks since 1964, okay? 88% was 94% in 64.
It flipped in 64.
And it's now 88%, 86%, 90%, right?
Yeah.
So if blacks have had, if Democrats have had that vote since 64, that's 60 years, 59 years to be exact. How come blacks haven't made major progress if Democrats care about blacks as much as they do?
Well, first of all, that's an actually flawed question, because when you say haven't made major
what kind of progress have they made?
No, let me unpack.
I would love to hear
that. So when you look at what you coming out of 1960s, then you go to 1970s, when you begin to see your first wave of black mayors across the country, Marion Barry in D.C., Maynard Jackson in Atlanta, Coleman Young in Detroit. Of course, previously you had Gary Hatcher in Gary, Indiana. What you saw for the first time was African Americans being able to access economic capital in this country. Maynard Jackson gets elected in 73. African Americans were receiving 0.0012% of all city contracts in Atlanta. I didn't say 1%. I didn't say 0.5%. I didn't say 0.12. They were 0.0012% of all city contracts. Maynard Jackson comes in. He says, ain't going to happen, not when you have a city that the significant number of African Americans. The reason Atlanta is called the Black Mecca today, because economically, you're part of that particular process. When you talk about Prince George's County being called today the richest black county in the country based upon home values, a lot of that is because of, again, contracting opportunities that came when Marion Barry was mayor, and then coming out of that. Now, what you have, and when you're talking about the black community, and when you're looking at overall, you have to look at the fact of the matter is this here. African Americans have been technically fully free Americans for only 53 years. 53. 64 Civil Rights Act, 65 Voting Rights Act, 68 Fair Housing Act, and you still were dealing with being locked out. Okay. When you look at it, look, it comes to money. If you're not having a money conversation in America, you ain't having a real conversation. And so when you talk about 400 plus years, and you're only being technically free 53 years, and you've been locked out consistently out of corporate America, I have actually met, which is sad, individuals who were the first African Americans to ever work at major companies, and they got there in 72, 73, 75, 78. Perfect. And you're like, what the heck? So when you've been locked out economically, which has an impact on every single place in America, housing, health, education, then you see where we are today. But has there been progress? Yes. Has there been enough progress? No.
Roland, so if I can finish my question.
Yep.
Okay. I'll let you go, but you gotta let me finish my question.
Go ahead.
Okay. So if we have a leadership team running an insurance company for 5 years and the company isn't growing, you're gonna sit there and say, okay, cool. Hey, you know what? You guys don't go talk to the employees. We do. Great. That doesn't mean you're good to the employees. That just means you're going out there to talk to the employees and to brag about the fact that you're talking to the employees. Let's give them 5 more years. Let's give them 10 more years. Let's give them 20 more years. Let's give them 53 years. Fast forward today, if you can pull up this article, you're a data guy. 27 of the top 30 crime-ridden cities in America ran by Democrats.
Yep.
If they are all about blacks, why are their policies ruining great communities?
Question for you. Pull it back up.
Yeah.
What's the root cause of it?
What is it?
No, I'm asking you. No. You raise it up. No. You said 27 of the top 30 crime-ridden cities.
You're the expert.
No. Here's the deal, though.
I'll read the article for you. Pull it up.
If you're going to ask the question, what I need you to do is I need you to then go, okay, what actually, looking at those communities, what actually happened in those areas? You brought up Chicago. Lived there 6 years. What is it?